Making a wargaming board is a huge commitment. It takes a lot of time. You gotta be really crafty. It costs a lot of money. It takes up so much space because once you make a board, you have to move it around. You have to store it. All those terrain pieces, you have to like make a shelf for them just to keep them from ruining your dining experience because you need to use your dinner table to eat dinner on sometimes. Can't just be for wargaming. But what if I told you there was a way to make a totally epic wargaming board that barely cost anything and only took a couple hours to put together? What if I told you that because of this, you don't feel bad if you have to throw it out in a couple months because you're moving, or it would be perfect for a game store who's doing a tournament, only needs enough terrain pieces to fill in for a weekend? What if I told you you had all the equipment at your disposal already? I'm talking about a new fancy kind of printing called 2D printing. That's where you print on pieces of paper and then fold the paper and make totally sweet terrain pieces. Yeah, dude. You can just make terrain with a 2D printer. And I know all of you probably have a rusty, dusty, dank old 2D printer in your basement, just ready to make some epic wargaming terrain. So the first step in the process is going to be creating the 3D model. And you can see in the background, I kind of mocked up a bunch of different shapes just to see how it would look in real life. And now I have separated this as going to be one of the bulkhead pillars. And basically what I did is you take that model and you flatten it, and then you can add textures onto it using photographs and other, you can paint things if you wanted to. I cover this process in another video. I'll put a link in the description for that video. I'll put a link here on the screen too, where I get more in depth. If this is something you want to learn how to do, Blender is the program I'm using, and Blender is pretty easy to pick up, but there is a learning curve, and there's also a lot of really good tutorials on how to do it. This is pretty basic Blender stuff. This would be actually a really good project to sink your teeth into Blender with. Because it's simple, all these shapes are really simple. It's basic concepts like UV unwrapping. And so once we have a shape, here's one of the pillars. I'm using a program called Pepakura Designer. And you can just load in the 3D shape that you designed on Blender, and you hit unfold, and then it unfolds it, and it makes it so that you can print it out. It even makes flaps for all the sides. It tells you where to score so you can fold the paper. When you fold this all up, it will make whatever 3D design you did. I also did a lot of 2D design work. So the walls, for instance, are just a flat surface, and I wanted to make it so that you could print it off on a sheet of paper and fold it over so it'd be thick and have some substance to it. But yeah, I just, once again, taking photographs and kind of layering them on top of each other, adding some grunge. And then I also did the floor. So the floor was done the same way. These are a bunch of textures from textures.com. Some photographs, some just paint strokes, and I put it all together and was able to print it off in a poster. So Adobe has a really nice feature that lets you take a big image and print things off. This takes 9 pieces of paper to make the board, and that's the normal Kill Team board size that we're gonna create with this. just a matter of gluing them together. Honestly, I think maybe it would be better to glue these down to like a poster board or a big sheet of cardboard or something. I just used another layer of paper underneath it and it worked out all right. I got some white edges. I ended up filling that in with some paint and some Sharpie wherever you can see the white poking through. And now we have our designs that we created, and these are ready. They're printed out. I've, put multiple on different sheets, and I'm scoring all the fold lines. So I'm using the back of the X-Acto blade to put a score in, and then I'm using the X-Acto blade to cut out the shape. And I find that really scoring anywhere that's folding is really important for making these work good. I'm not very good at this sort of paper craft, but there are also lots of people that do like super intricate designs on this. And yeah, I just kind of copied their technique, scoring with the back of the razor blade, and then cutting things out with the razor worked out really well. You could use the scissors. It would probably take a long time though. I think a razor blade is faster. And then super glue is probably the best way to glue these all together. So now I have a bunch of these different things that I've created, and I can assemble them into actual terrain pieces. And I started using glue stick here. I ended up switching to super glue pretty quickly afterwards. But you can see all the different things. These are the bulkheads. I just cut the wall in half, just using half the wall. And then I also made some platforms and railings. And just combining all of those, and very quickly you get a really awesome 3D terrain piece. And this whole process is like Lego, so it's just a lot of fun experimenting with different designs. This is like the first thing I made. And I have this hexagon tile here, and I end up making some ramps. And later on, I don't know if there's very much video of it, but anytime I had a slanted surface like that, I'm gonna put a few pieces of just paper strips on that slanted surface so that the miniatures don't just slide down. You can put them on a slanted surface and they'll stay there. So keep your eye out for that. And I'm just kind of winging it. I'm not really measuring things. And this is it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it reminds me of playing with Lego. So I'm gonna let the build play for a little bit here, and we'll come back in at the end.
control in the overflow. In the overflow. Seas will rise and flow and high. Will survive. Let me go, let me go. Seas will rise and flow and high. Will survive.
Here you can see the pieces of paper I'm using to give traction to the minis, so you can put minis up the ramp there. And now with just the last few pieces, like I have this offcut of a wall, I'm just going to kind of give it an angle, so it's just something that people can hide behind. It's super simple. It ended up working out great. And here are some other things that I did. I decided to take this last wall I had and cut the door out, but I figured, you know, you can make things look like they were blown up too. So that's what I wanted to do with this one. As I put the pillars on, I'm going to actually bend the door and cut the wall in a way that makes it look like it was hit with some sort of explosive device. So you can just take these pieces of paper, fold them, bend them, however you want. It's actually, I keep saying it, it's like playing with Legos. It's so much fun. There are probably a lot of other things that you can do with just these few shapes that I never even got to, and I could probably play for hours and stack things on top of each other and make things different. And here you can see the broken door and the blown out wall. And now, the final reveal. Alright guys, this was a super fun, super low commitment build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to build your own, I put all these into a PDF file that is available on my Gumroad, so you can just print off pages, whatever pages you want to build, you can just print them off, build them. I'll also include individual image files so you can make your own pages as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have fun with this. I hope to see this stuff on somebody else's game board. If this is the sort of content you like, make sure you hit that like button. That means a lot. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.